What's up viewers, welcome back to Red Roy 19 with your host Rory McKinnell. I apologise for not doing a video for some time, but I've just been a bit lazy and I can forgive you if you get mad at me for that. But never mind that, let me get straight to the point. I'm going to be discussing about Mortal Kombat. Obviously, as you know, there's going to be a Mortal Kombat X game coming out next year and we've already seen gameplays of it. But here's what I'm getting on about it. As you may know, we had DLCs last time in Mortal Kombat 9 of Rain, Scarlet and Kenshi, but for outsiders we had Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. And basically what I'm getting about is ever since he has appeared in Mortal Kombat, people have been demanding that Jason Voorhees should make an appearance too. He was actually going to appear in Mortal Kombat 9, but to be honest, Ed Boon wanted to pick him first, but he then considered that Freddy was more iconic as a horror villain. So, and basically, even if Jason did make it as well as Freddy, it would just be Freddy versus Jason all over again. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you my points of view and what I think should happen if Jason Voorhees does make it to Mortal Kombat. Okay, what will Jason be like in Mortal Kombat X? Personally, as everybody else, since they made Freddy Krueger from his 2010 look, played by Jackie O'Haley, which was a pile of crap anyway compared to Robert Englund, I believe that Jason should be based off his Derek Mears look from the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th. So that means basically he'll be this big bulky guy with a wrecked blue coat, a brown shirt, grey trousers, boots, massive ass machete, and of course his iconic hockey mask. And basically, and I also had an idea that, I took this from another person who suggested this, that Jason should be the same height, not as like most of the Mortal Kombat characters, he should actually have the same height as the big characters like Kintaro, Goro, and of course Shao Kahn. So basically, if Shao Kahn was to come across Jason, he'd be in for one unlucky hell. Okay, in this scene I'm going to ask, why would Jason go to Mortal Kombat in the first place? It's simple for what I've thought. I have thought that most people have suggested that the best thing to do is have Jason lying dead in the bottom of Camp Crystal Lake, and then most likely Shang Tsung or Quan Chi go to Crystal Lake, resurrect him, and make him fight for the Outworlders. In my version, it's nothing like that. Jason is probably minding his own business on Crystal Lake, slaughtering teenagers and camp counselors, blaming them for the demise of both him and his mother, Pamela Voorhees, until he finds that something very precious to him has gone missing from his home. His mother's head. And basically he finds out that the Tarkatan warriors of Outworld, led by Baraka, have stolen it, and now they have taken it back to their tournament, and then Jason most likely follows them through the portal that goes through to the Mortal Kombat Island, run by Shang Tsung. Sorry, I think this sounds too much like Mortal Kombat 9, but it's still a recommendation. Okay, now this here is going to be my suggestion for the ending of Jason's story in the arcade mode. After Jason kills Shao Kahn, or whoever he fights in the end of Mortal Kombat X, although I know I haven't played it, so I'm probably mixing it too much with Mortal Kombat 9, but never mind that. I suggest that Jason learns a very, very shocking truth about both him and his mother, which is an interesting twist and will put more on Jason's origin. Jason learns that his mother, Pamela, was actually an Edenian from Edenia, you know, the home of Kitana and all the Edenian characters like Kitana, Jade, Melina, Sindel, Rain, all them. And he then learns that when he was born to Pamela, either as an Edenian or a half Edenian, depending on what Elias Voorhees was like, his mother then use some of her sorcery spells that she was probably taught by her parents, or possibly even Quan Chi or Shang Tsung or whoever taught her. She used some of these spells that could give whoever they were, whoever it's cast upon, both super strength and invincibility. And obviously knowing that her son, Jason, was born all horribly deformed and retarded, no offense to you, Jason, but he then decides, she then chooses that maybe no matter what happens to him, if she gave him super strength and invincibility, he would be able to get back at those who made fun of him. Okay, now this is the question for my ideas on Jason's story of why would Jason be an Adenian instead of a human? Ignore that. He would, because this game, Mortal Kombat X, is taking place 25 years in the storyline after the last game, I thought if Jason was just human, he'd just be a really old man and stuff. Like, really old, and he wouldn't be able to fight and stuff. So I thought, saying that if he was an Adenian, or maybe from the spells his mother gave him, he would still be quite young and able to fight against any combatant that gets in his way. Now here I'm going to discuss who would Jason fight against, or who would he see as an ally. I thought maybe when he learns he's an Adenian, he could ally himself with most likely Kitana and Jade and whoever is Adenian, but I had this idea, but obviously he will obviously want to kill Melina because he would find her really annoying or something. I even had this idea that, well, even if she was at the beginning of Jason, I would say she's the one who pushed him into the lake where he drowned, and that Kitana tried to save him. They would do the same as well. But unfortunately they failed, but did not realise about Jason's strength and invincibility. To be honest, with other characters such as like the Earthrealmers, like Johnny Cage, Cassie Cage, Sonya, Jax, Jason would want to kill them, knowing that that's his purpose. So that could be at the beginning, because he finds Earthrealmers really annoying. But Outworlders he will so want to kill as well, because they took his mother's head, and that basically he will want to slash them and get his mother's head back. Which actually I thought for the ending, maybe somehow Jason gets reunited with his mother. And I also thought that since his mother put those spells on Jason so he could be strong and invincible, she is the only one who can remove them, but she doesn't intend to. Okay, here are some rough move concept ideas for Jason. I think mostly he should just he can punch his victims, kick his victims, and mostly slash them with the one weapon he always uses, his machete. But here's an idea for his X-ray. I suggest, just like that, the way he killed Lawrence in the 2009 movie, what Jason does is he takes out an axe, he throws it, impaling his opponent. He then goes up to them, rips it out of their chest, and then punches them so hard in the face with the same hand. And also, as a rough idea for his fatality, I think it should be called either Friday the 13th or The Unlucky Day, where at some point he decapitates his victim with his machete, obviously. That can be his first fatality. For other fatalities, he could, wrap them in a sleeping bag and slam them against something, or he could actually burn them, like when he killed Amanda. He literally just put her in a sleeping bag and hung her over a fire where she burned to death. That's just some rough, but remember, these are just rough, so these are just rough ideas. So if you are going to consider these ideas, do consider it. Okay, this one would be about Jason's variations of what he will be like during the battle. I suggest in one variation he can use weapons like his machete, or in another version he could use his axe, And in another version, he could use like that pruning saw he used in Part 7, The New Blood. Because there are some bits that are based off, like with Freddy, there were some ideas based off his original self, even though he had a total look of his remake. It would be from the 2009 movie, like as I said, for his X-ray. Okay. Or whatever weapon Jason used in the Friday the 13th 2009 movie, or whatever he used over the entire franchise, that can be used. Okay, now for this idea, if Ed Boon does consider this idea, costumes. Now, as you know, they have done some alternate costumes in Mortal Kombat 9, so if he does consider alternate costumes in Mortal Kombat X, here are my suggestions for the Jason costumes, if you do more than one or two. I took this idea from somebody else who suggested costumes for Jason. One version will be his 2009 look. His second alternate costume could be possibly him from Freddy vs. Jason, because that was a fighter version of Jason. And then the other version can be, since it's Mortal Kombat X, the 10th installment, we should have the 10th version of Jason Voorhees. Jason X, or Uber Jason as he's called. So that way, and he could have different abilities in this version, in these three different versions. Like, normal Jason, he could be like fast and bulky and could kill anything. Undead version, he'd be slower, and maybe a little bit weaker. I don't know if it would work or not. And then for Jason X, he would be super invincible because he's got metal bone armor. So practically, whatever you give Jason, people are just gonna scream. All I've got to say for this video, but this is what I really want. This is the reason I made this video. This video is actually going towards Ed Boon, because I did actually hear Jason is one of his favourite icons of horror, and that he is actually considering Jason for Mortal Kombat X. So Ed Boon, if you are watching this, please consider my ideas. Or if you are, or whoever is watching this is a friend of Ed Boon, please recommend this video to him. They are just rough ideas, but I think they will do very well. Thank you for watching. This is Red118 signing out. And remember, if you disrespect Ed Boon and Mortal Kombat and Jason Voorhees, you can go back to the NetherRealm. So up yours!
Finish him! Glory wins! Smashality!